Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up? It's your boys, the All Out Basement Bookers Podcast. This week, we are all out of WWE's Bash in Berlin, probably the best WWE house show Germany has seen in forever. But now is not the time for that. We are back in the good old US of A, live from Chicago at that arena they're going to be in. It's going to be all out business tonight. Rich the Riz, your basement champion, the Riz's baldest man, basement Jer here, hairline receding. But that's what happens when you're in your 40s. It's all good. It's too bad that I'm just too old. But now, let's go. Rich the Riz, how do you feel about AEW All Out? And is this going to be the best AEW All Out since the last All Out? Seeing as have you seen every single episode of AEW Dynamite Rampage Collision preparing for this episode?
Every Dyna Rampage Collision, Darkness Falls, whatever the other one was called. Yes, we are on the eve of All Out. It is tonight. So I guess it's the day of All Out. Tonight, right here in Chicago at the All Out Arena. They renamed it just for this purpose. Will it be the best? I mean, that's a controversial question, Basement Jer. That's a big, bold. I think yes, it will be the single greatest All Out since the last All Out. A lot of big storylines, a lot of big things happening. Hangman Page, he burned down Swerve's childhood home. We're gonna talk about that. He like giving it to Nana. I think it's a mess. It's a mess. We got a conglomeration. There's still the learning tree, and Hook is talking too much. I don't know what to say, bro.
I don't know either. So just for that, we're going to have to go and get this going because the fans need it before All Out. This is today. It is in a few hours. We need to give them time to see this and get our insight, whatever that is. And let's start that with what we just talked about, what was just discussed. We've got Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. Hangman Adam Page, like nothing makes me happier than someone to improve. And I will say that Hangman Adam Page's promos have significantly improved. So before we go into who's going to win this match, I wanted to share with the Basement Bookiverse the leadings up to this match. Now, Hangman Adam Page, he's come back. He's different than he was before. Okay, he is not the same Hangman Adam Page, or maybe this guy was just hidden all along and just needed to get that rage out. Allow me to set the scene. If you watch Dynamite, you know Rich the Riz has mentioned the childhood home. There is a contract signing this very night. Swerve Strickland is waiting on Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page's music is not played once but twice by Tony Schiavone. And what would come up on the screen? It's Hangman Adam Page. And he says, "Whose house? Did you think that I'd give you the satisfaction of a formality of meeting and putting my signature on a contract for something we both already know is going to happen? You know, you are a hard man to find. I looked all over Florida. I looked all over Washington State. You've got a fiance that left you. Kids who aren't even in the picture anymore. I mean, you wouldn't be a fool to think that you've got nothing in this life other than the ring that you stand in tonight. You slipped up. You showed the world, and more importantly, you showed me something important to you. Your childhood home, right? Low ceilings, and I can see it now. Your mom running across those dirty ass floors, fixing your supper, your dad sitting in his chair, telling you to shut the hell up so he could hear the television. And knowing the kind of man you turned out to be, I bet your father didn't love you very much, did he? I bet he regrets having you at all. And what? What a wonderful world it would have been had you never been born. But that's enough down memory lane. I mean, you kind of covered it already. It is, as they say, your house. And I wouldn't blame someone for wondering why I'm here tonight and not in the ring with you. You already know. You told me last week, much like when you sat in a car outside my front door and you watched me carry my pregnant wife to the hospital. You told me that now I must make a decision, a choice between hate and success, a choice between vengeance and peace. But for me, it's not much of a choice at all, is it? For me, they are one in the same. I told you for months and months that there was nothing that I wanted more out of this life than to burn your world to the ground. You know, it couldn't be, if I couldn't be the one to take the world championship from you, I was happy to help it slip through your fingers. And this Saturday, locked inside a steel cage, I'm going to take what's left of you. I'm going to take your pride. I'm going to take your dignity. Because you will be on your knees, begging for mercy, pleading for my forgiveness, but I will not give it to you. But the night is long, and it's about time to say goodbye. But no goodbye, not goodbyes for me, goodbyes from you. So if you haven't already said it, say goodbye to the AEW World Championship and any idea you might have ever got of holding it again. This Saturday, you will say goodbye to your health, your career, your joy, and your happiness. And tonight, tonight, you get a little practice. Because tonight, live in front of the world, you get to say goodbye to Swerve's house. And that, to me, was the best Hangman Adam Page has ever done. I don't care how many takes it took. You know, just going through that myself, I'm like, wow, this is some intense stuff. And I think I'm actually on Hangman Adam Page's side. I think he might be the hero here who is pushed to his limit. You know, the people, after all the things Swerve has done to Hangman Adam Page, after all Hangman Adam Page has given, 5 years of his life or something, all he's given, they still chose him. So he's a man. He's out there. He's out there for vengeance. And I am going to be here for that. What do you make of that? And I pick Hangman Adam Page to win the cage match. What say you?
So yeah, it was a long promo. That there was no cutaway. So however many takes it took, that was all one take. So yes, excellent performance by Hangman. I never thought I'd say that about his promo skills. Yes, he has gotten better. This dark side he has. I
He's
like it.
better at anger than false passion.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's just better.
Yes, there's a lot less bullshit to it. I like it. The walking through the house, coming up with these scenarios for Swerve's childhood, basically painting that picture, drawing up these memories within Swerve to then literally burn it to the ground. Oh, that was good. Oh, man. So,
all right, this is we're trying to stay on YouTube. You might give me the PG. Thank you.
I'm on the same page here. You might not like what Hangman's doing, but if you look at his reasoning, right? They brought in this punk, right? They brought in this punk. They gave Hangman the title. They didn't do anything good with him while he had the title.
No one gave Hangman the title. He won it.
Right. Right. Of course, he won it.
What?
What are we
What the
talking about
fuck
here?
do you mean? Yeah.
And then he ends up losing it to this Punk, who then goes on this rant, starts a fight backstage. Someone bites someone, the whole thing, all of that Punk stuff. And then Punk gets in Jack Perry's face. We'll get to that. Punk out of the company, gone, took his ball, went back home. Hangman trying to pick up the pieces of his career. He's like, I keep doing what you tell me, and you're going to paint me as the villain. I'm going to do villain stuff. But I have a damn good reason for it.
Well,
Swerve came into my house. Swerve went to my baby's bedroom, stood over his crib, and talked to him while my wife was asleep and I was here. Yeah. Yeah, that's some righteous vengeance right there. I don't see how, like, okay, sure, Swerve may be a fan favorite. I don't think Swerve is the face here.
I think Swerve will, like, he's gonna get his licks in. He's gonna put in, but somehow Hangman's gonna manage to cheat in a cage match.
Yeah.
He's somehow gonna get out of there. That's what I think. I think it might be like an escape situation. Who knows? He might handcuff Swerve to the cage or something. He could tie him to the cage. I don't know, what he can do really. But you mentioned the Punk, and I still stick to my guns. That could have been avoided if Hangman Adam Page didn't go into business for himself. That should have been settled backstage professionally,
Mm-hmm.
not there. I've been in situations where you try to um, confront someone at a job, and there's places for that. It's not in front of everybody else at the place. You settle it back there, and then see what happens. So, but hey, everything happens for a reason. We might not even gotten this version of Hangman Adam Page if that didn't happen. This
Mm-hmm.
is life now. This is what it is. All right, we both have Hangman Adam Page here. Um, let's move on to the next matches. These are, I said plural, because there's only one man to blame for this. That's Tony Khan, the man right there. If you can see, he's right there hidden behind. We're going to talk about Willow Nightingale versus Kris Statlander in a Chicago street fight first. They were best friends. Kris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, and the stipulation was chosen, albeit correctly. It was a street fight. And look, these two were great friends. Stokely came in, and something changed, and they're out to hurt each other. And this is not the first match that's going to have that. This is not the only match that has that kind of thing going. Um, but yeah, I think maybe Kris Statlander wins this one, and they keep it pushing. She's the bad guy. It's a street fight. She's probably going to get the numbers game. I don't know how or who's going to get signed where. Maybe I don't know, or she could just win. There's still Stoke, or Stoke could get taken out by Willow Nightingale. It is a street fight, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick Kris Statlander because I like her.
Yep. I'm gonna go Willow here. I think that despite the numbers, despite the this, despite the that, the Stokely and whatever other friends Statlander may have in her back pocket, I feel like it's gonna be Willow. They're gonna have her pull it out. They're gonna have her overcome the odds here tonight.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. Let's look back at the Tony Khan special triple decker bus. Next, we've got ourselves a last minute thrown together on AEW Dynamite in a conversation. It is the Young Bucks, the elite themselves, taking on the Blackpool Combat Club. Rich Deriz, why is it the elite and not the Blackpool Combat Club?
It's the elite. It's the Bucks because they have the Bucks. They have the numbers. They have the company behind them. And I feel like as the elite, as people running the company, they can surprise recruit anyone.
So you're saying this tag team match could suffer from irregularities. You're saying it can suffer from interference. You could say it's going to be one of those overbooked type matches, you think? Or
Yes, definitely overbooked. Definitely about 62 too many super kicks, and definitely going to be shenanigans.
the holy number is 69.
Yes, it is.
So we'll see what happens. This match might be nice. It might not be so nice, but yeah, definitely. I'm with you on the prediction with the kicks. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough on the anti knee slappers. Get over it. It's happening. It's nothing you can do about it.
Hmm.
It's death, taxes, and people lying to you. It
Old
keep
man
happening.
yells at knee slapping.
Yeah, just find another hill to die on. All right. Speaking of a hill to die on, here we go. I don't know how, but because Okada is on the top of the hill, and he might die on that hill because it looks like he's got to face three stone cold killers in an AEW Continental Championship match, which is odd to me. Like, isn't Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe friends? At least here, Konosuke Takeshita. I think look. I don't know if he's going to win, Rich Torres. I don't know if Takeshita's going to win, but I
Mhm.
think coming out of this, he should get a one-on-one opportunity with Okada. So I'm gonna give this to Okada. He's in the elite. He costs a lot of money. I don't unless you plan on having him do something crazy great. This looks to me like it's staying right where it is, this being a fatal four-way and all.
Mhm.
And the elite having all the strings.
So the elite having all the strings, I feel like they have a lot of their on their plate, and they might not necessarily be quite as focused on this match as they could or should be. So Okada's the champ coming in. He's defending against Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy, who are friends within the conglomerate, and you also have Konosuke Takeshita. I don't remember his nickname. Doesn't the Alpha? That's it.
The Alpha.
The Alpha himself. I feel like Takeshi's going to win this. He's probably going to pin Orange Cassidy, which will set up the match between that you mentioned between Okada and Takeshita. Then for Takeshita's AEW Continental Championship, that I think Takeshita will retain, and maybe Okada heads back to Japan, New Japan, do something else. I don't know, but
What
either way, it's going to be that'll be a bang. I'm looking forward to that one.
what say you? What do we have confrontation between the Chicken Man and the Orange Man? While in there, is there going to be a stop of someone else's pin? Was there a gentleman's agreement on what happens here? If the winner gives a number one contenders match to the loser of them being in the conglomeration.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could see there being
This I
a
feel could be overbooked because it's a fatal four way. Is no DQ.
yeah. This is gonna be a fun one. I feel like we're gonna see Mark Briscoe stopping the hands in the pockets of Orange Cassidy. Maybe he'll try to put his own hands in his pockets or in his own pockets or someone else's pockets.
You
Well,
think that the Chicken Man will place his hands in Orange Cassidy's pockets?
listen,
In
it's a
my
fatal.
world, the only person out of the two is putting their hand in their pocket is Orange Cassidy. Better put his hand in the Chicken Man's pocket. He'll give him the protection. It's not the other way around. You all know
Well,
what I'm talking about. Anyway,
I do know what you're talking about. I'm gonna say it's a fatal four way. Anything goes, and B, Mark Briscoe's a little crazy. You
he's a
never know what
little,
to expect with him.
yeah, he's a little. He's not as crazy as Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know what's wrong with him. He might be a serial eater, but we don't know. We don't know.
So yeah,
So
I got Takeshita here.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with Okada here. Status being quo. All right. That was the triple decker Tony Khan special. Let's move on back to solid graphics here. We're back here. We're talking about this is a blood feud, a two I would say New York boys going at it, and you have to wonder why has this happened? Well, you see at Wembley. It was Danny Garcia who helped MJF lose. And the championship returned back to America, ironically, through Will Osprey, who is not American. So that's really cool. But if you're wondering what was said on Dynamite this week, then I will be happy to read to you the Daniel Garcia interaction with MJF, if that's all right. And let's start with so Daniel Garcia is there, and he's in the ring. Like I don't have a good Danny Garcia impression, so I'm just gonna say words. I wasn't even doing a Hangman impression. I was just a guy talking. So
Doing it well.
thank you. So let's see. Hey, they say that patience is a virtue. And Max, I know you're somewhere in the building. And I'm not feeling very virtuous tonight. I'm not waiting for All Out. I want to break your neck right here in Milwaukee. Let's go. And then, MJF, he's out there, but he is in the crowd, and he's got his security men. The security men are back there, and he's got his protection. It's an MJF thing, It's not the first time like that he's done this kind of thing. So we're all very used to MJF and what he does. I'm up here, bud. The reason I'm up here is because I don't want to ruin your big match coming up this Saturday. I like the way MJF says bud.
Mm-hmm.
By whooping your ass, bud. I said it twice. Not that I wouldn't take a great deal of pleasure in doing that. That's not it. It's just that I don't want any excuses made when I paint that canvas in your blood and break your pencil neck. And also, unlike you, I don't attack people from behind like a coward. And I don't do it looking like, with all due respect, an emaciated skinhead hooked on Ozempic. But then everybody goes nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Max. You think that everybody here believes anything that just came out of your mouth, right? Everybody here knows that everything you just said is fake and a lie, but that's fitting because everything about you is fake. From your tan, from the makeup on your face, to cover up your acne, from the trip that you took to Turkey to get a hair transplant that didn't even work. But the thing that makes me sick about you is the fakest thing about you, and it is your fake love that you have for AEW. Bro, it's not just MJF. But anyway, listen, you don't care about this place the way that I care about this place, right? You don't love these people the way that I love these people. Look, there's different kinds of love. Daniel Garcia, like, you don't know MJF's heart. You don't know. Blah.
Tough love.
You can get as many fake tattoos painted onto the back of your leg that you want. We will never believe you. Oh, shit. And then we're going to cut back to Max. I will give you fair warning. I will make you bleed buckets. And then Garcia goes, hey, Max, how about you shut up and listen to me for once, okay? I warned you last week. I said that I was obsessed with ruining your life. And I meant every single word that came out of my mouth. I want you to suffer. I want the people that love you to suffer too. So here's the thing. If you can ever find a woman that will pretend to care about you for longer than a year, I want you to marry her. I want you to get a house. I want you to have a kid. But just know, every time you pick up that ugly ass baby, you're going to feel a tingle from your neck all the way down to your toes. And you're going to think about me. And Max, your kid is going to ask you, Daddy, were you a wrestler? And you're going to have the truest statement that you ever said in your life. I was, until Daniel Garcia ended my career. And then everybody's like, oh, shit. Oh, he said the thing. Wow. Bravo, Daddy. Did you guys hear that? Danny learned how to speak. My word, Danny, you still have a whole lot more to learn, bud. You still have so much maturing to do. See, you don't even realize that when I cost you that match against Osprey and dumped you on that bulbous head of yours, I was trying to do you a solid. You can't trust anybody in this world. Look at me. I was their favorite. These people used to love me. And then they applaud. Too little, too late. So keep your mouth shut while the only real human being that matters here is holding the microphone. They love me. Then I got too big. And like rats, Danny, they turned on me. You don't want their love, Danny. You don't want their affection. You don't want to win championship gold. The more you rise up in this sport, the more these fickle bastards will want to watch you fall. So I'm going to do you a favor, Danny. I'm going to do you a favor this Saturday. Your friends, your family, your fans, they're all going to turn on you. But I'm going to make sure that they can't hurt you the way they hurt me. And I'm going to do that. And then the fans are like, oh, I'm talking. And I'm going to do that by putting you, and I'm going to protect you by putting you in a wheelchair, Danny. But don't you worry. There is one person on this planet that you can trust, and that mother of yours. And that's that mother of yours you always love bringing up. Well, no oohs or ahs, folks.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good woman. She'll take care of you while you're laid up in bed. Lord knows you won't be the first man lying on their back in her bed that she happily attended to. And then Danny he bolts up to the guards, and of course gets cracked in the head with a bottle. He's busted open. He's on the floor. Do you mind if I take a seat here, Danny? In this life, Danny, they say that every man must go through hell before they reach paradise. I want to do something for you. You refuse to do for me, Danny. I want to thank you. You have woken up something in me that has been dormant for far too long. And as a token of my gratitude this Saturday, at All Out, Danny, I'm going to send you straight to paradise. And for that, you can thank me later. And then that was the end of the segment.
And he kisses him on the wound on his head.
That's right. He kisses him on the wound. He took a sip, I think. I'm just making that up. I'm going to give it to MJF. I don't think it ends here. I think Danny Garcia is a dork. If I'm comparing the two, MJF is a dork, but he's not as big of a dork as Danny Garcia. I just don't think he's quite there yet. Like, I'm not quite there yet, so I don't know. You know what I mean? But he had some fire in there, but like, I was hoping he would rise above on the mama thing because, like, it's 2024. You're a grown man. Like, how does that like weaken your defenses like that? It's got to be more than that, man.
Yeah. So that shows his inexperience.
Yeah.
Well documented. MJF. I think MJF is going over as well. His pay-per-view matches. He's money. You don't want to do to him what they did to Solo. Not that Solo is the same kind of character.
I'm wondering if this is 50-50. Win one, lose one, win one.
It could be. But MJF's got this one. If it goes, Danny Garcia wins a rematch and they go to a third, what's that going to be? Cage, first blood, strap. Gonna do something.
I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, let's see what happens here. Let's go. Let's move to the TBS Championship. I feel like was also thrown together kind of last minute, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We got Hikaru Shida versus Mercedes Mone. Not with Kamille. She is banned from ringside, according to not Pierce. So
the voice of Tony Khan, Mr. Christopher Daniels himself.
That's right. And look, I understand a lot of people get confused. This is not Sasha Banks. This is Mercedes Mone. She's facing off against Hikaru Shida. And Mercedes Mone is going to win. Maybe she doesn't need Kamille to win this match.
Yep. So I also have Mercedes. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Mercedes Mone might have some other fans. Like maybe she FaceTimed some of Sasha's friends, and they're like, "Oh, is that Sasha?" She's like, Yeah. You can call me Sasha. Yeah. So what are you doing Saturday night? You want to come give me a hand with this? Yeah, cool. Banks on it.
If there were a wrestling god, like an actual physical, like not JBL, but like another one,
Mm-hmm.
there would be a luchadora with a thick end showing up at All Out to help Mercedes Monet because she looks a little bit like Sasha Banks. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we won't get that because the world is cruel. And yeah. So yeah, I go with Mercedes. Still, I don't think we're getting a big ROI on this giant purchase. I'd argue that Swerve Strickland is worth more, but in regards to like the contract stuff that was
Mm-hmm.
recently, like I'd pay Swerve a lot. I've always thought he's a better talker than a lot of people, and you know what? I'm new to Mercedes. I don't have a lot of experience with her, so maybe there's room to grow. Her being an up and coming,
Mm-hmm.
star, and
Mm-hmm.
from overseas, and she comes here, just because she looks like Sasha Banks. Nobody gives her the benefit of the doubt. I guess I'm going to do that. She can't be as bad of a promo as she is. We got to just see.
Right.
Oh.
Right. The whole thing that Sheeta did, she came on the screen, she was wearing the suit, and she ripped it open, and it was a Hikaru Shida shirt underneath.
People will say she was dressed like Solo Sokoa. I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
She looks
kind of.
better. She looks better than him in that suit. So, um,
Yeah, definitely better fitting. I feel like so. I'm glad that she's trying different acting techniques. I hope she finds one that works.
she'll get there. I hope. Sometimes you just got to be the best wrestler. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of the best wrestler, as he is known to call himself, here we have Bryan Danielson, the newly minted AEW World Champion. He's finally done it. He rose to the top. Maybe it wasn't all by himself. I mean, he did have kind of a little help. If Hangman took part in that. He made a little bit of a fuss down there. Attacking Prince Nana and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So now this match is for the championship. Jack Perry looking to be the TNT champion as well as the AEW champion, a double champion.
Hmm.
Um, this one's tough to call. Before we start talking about this one, I did find interesting what Jungle Boy's motivations were, as opposed to like me want championship, me bad. Okay,
Hmm.
this is from Jungle Boy's perspective. All right. So I don't know how to sound like a douchebag with long hair, so I'm just gonna read it. All right.
Hmm.
So he says, I don't know, is it better if people can see me, or should I just leave the picture up? I don't know what
Nope.
to
We
do.
want. I think we want to see you.
All right, so he's chilling on the stairs. He's out there. He's somewhere. I don't know. Oh no, this is when he's with the Young Bucks, right?
Yeah, him and the Bucks
So
are backstage somewhere.
3 years ago, Chicago, Illinois, All Out 2021. I was in the ring the very first time that Bryan Danielson set foot in AEW, and I felt the ground shake. I felt the electricity in the air. And I promised myself that one day it would be my turn to stand in the ring with the American Dragon. But fast forward to earlier this year, I was sitting at home. I hadn't been in AEW in quite some time. And I heard the news that Bryan Danielson's career was coming to an end. And I realized the way things were playing out, well, I'd probably never get my chance. But I didn't give up. I changed the person that I was. I went to Japan. I started over. I sold my own t shirts. I did everything that I had to do to get back here, and I did it by myself. The truth is, Bryan, somebody like you could have helped me a whole lot, and you didn't because the only thing you care about is your perfect little fairy tale ending. Well, this Saturday, 3 years later, where it all began, it's not going to be a happy ending. And then the Young Bucks say what they say. I didn't give a shit. But yeah. and that was Jungle Boy. I felt like, I'm sorry, Jack Perry, the scapegoat himself, has said that. I can't
Mhm.
stop calling him Jungle Boy, even though this man buried Jungle Boy in the desert.
That's right.
I don't know what's going to happen here, but a key word was said in a promo by Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryanson, Dander.
Mhm.
He said that you're not a true champion until you defend it. So if he doesn't defend his championship, defend it successfully. If you don't defend it successfully here, he wasn't a real champion.
Right.
So I think we're gonna have Bryan Danielson around just a little bit longer. He did say he loses that belt, he's going home.
Mhm.
I really don't think this is the move. You can't just put two belts on some long-haired guy and have him stretch out his arms like he's a tribal chief, because it ain't happening. Cause
Right. That's there are levels to this, and let me know when Jack Perry has an aura. Okay. Now I'm on the same page here. Bryan Danielson is walking out still AEW World Champion. Now the Elite, the EVPs, I'm sure they're going to get involved. Danielson's still buddies with BCC. You know, Mox has Marina Shafir with him now. He's just walking backstage with her while she's just
she's just
kicking.
throwing people around. She's
Yeah,
just being a bully. I don't understand what's going on. I get it.
she's a
You-
problem. She's a
yeah,
problem.
she is now everyone's problem. This stems from an interview with Renee Paquette with Moxley, and he was talking so much about Marina Shafir, about how much of a badass she is, and if they just let her this and that. And I think this is the culmination of that. It's like, all right, let's go. Let's see what you can do. And they put them together. I don't know
Did
what
Renee
the
say?
plan is.
Did Renee say if you like her so much, why don't you just marry her?
I don't know. That wasn't said. It was a long time ago. Maybe it
Okay.
was.
Hmm.
But you know, this is interesting because we still don't understand what Moxley's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because Moxley said to Shivani, this isn't your company anymore," or something like that. That was a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we still don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So something's got to happen at All Out, I hope. Try to have a storyline thing happen big over there, maybe.
Yeah, Tony. So sometimes Tony Khan will play the long game with a storyline, and maybe that's what he's doing here. I hope that's what he's doing here. I hope it turns out well because I mean, I'm clearly a Mox fan. It's a Mox shirt, as you can tell,
Well, I'm wearing a shirt from the TNA champion, formerly Dolph Ziggler.
right?
We're all here. We're all here representing.
Nikki.
That's right. Listen, we got to understand something about Moxley. Sometimes he doesn't know his own mind, and he really gets to say what he wants.
Hmm.
And like, I understand this whole long game thing, but usually there has to be like pieces moved, and I don't think this. You can't just say something like this isn't your company anymore, unless it could have just been a mistake. It could have been he was supposed to say something else. I don't know. And then just not. I haven't really. Maybe I apologize if I haven't been paying that much attention. I don't understand what he means by that. I need more than that, but that's fine. That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm hoping we'll get to see it play out. I hope it makes sense, and I hope it's good.
Well, everybody hopes it's good.
Yes,
We really hope that.
and we know
Um,
Taz always thinks it's good.
yeah, definitely. Look, we have. There's not a lot of time. I need to get this up. I need to get this uploaded for the Bookiverse specifically. This was requested, but before we have a little bit of time to quickly run through Bash at Berlin, the biggest house show in Berlin,
Hmm.
and real quick, Adrenaline, it is Soul, Cody Rhodes still champion. The story was Kevin Owens wasn't willing to do what it takes to viciously assault Cody when he could, but it was still a fair match, and they were friends after.
Yeah, absolutely. Good storytelling. Owens had the opportunity to go for the what we eventually saw, the injured knee, later than I expected, admittedly, in the match. But We saw the hesitation. We saw him not do it, and we saw him not capitalize, and we saw him not walk away with the title because of it.
That's right, Rich. There is, and we both predicted here that the Terror Twins would walk out in victory. Not much to say here. You know, the Judgment Day tried to do their thing. That didn't work out too good. Terror Twins, tad tall.
Right.
Decent match there. Let's see how much time we're willing to spend on this one, guys. We got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. CM Punk getting the W in the strap match against Drew McIntyre. A lot of moves pulled there that I've seen in many strap matches, you know, where Drew has Punk on his shoulder. He's trying to touch the things, but Punk is also touching the things. There must have been like 4 GTSs or something like that before CM Punk could put Drew McIntyre away.
Yeah, at the very end, I know he hit 2 in a row at the very end.
Right. For the record, I want everyone to know Drew McIntyre wrestled a match and he had the bracelet in a pocket. The only pocket he has.
Not his prison pocket.
CM Punk proceeded to kiss that bracelet later in the same match after it was over. Until add insult to injury. I hope he cleaned it when he got home. Because it was on Monday Night Raw. And as I predicted, I didn't say it here, but I had a feeling yet again, shelving Punk, you know, he got his ass kicked. Drew McIntyre, which is why I asked about the bracelet if it was clean, put that thing in CM Punk's mouth and Claymore the shit out of him. And sent him to the nearest medical facility / hospital.
Yes.
So, Punk, while you're laying there as uncomfortably as possible, we'll see you at Bad Blood probably. So, take your time. All right. So this was an eye opener here. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and I think I did mention if one championship were to change hands, it would be this one. But you know, you say what you say, and Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, they are the champions again.
Yep, you're right on that. You know, I feel like if they don't do something with the Unholy Union after this, then it was a throwaway win for them.
I mean,
to win the
look,
titles.
you might have tried to guess harder if this was non-title, maybe, but you still got it wrong. And I think they were wrong. I think we should have maybe, if they could have somehow stolen a win off of them and retained those championships somehow by hook or by crook, you don't have to break Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill up. They could try again.
Yeah. Work their way through, like, say, okay, we're going to start at the bottom. We want to face every single women's tag team until we beat them all, and then we're the number one contenders because we've beaten them all. Why would you pick anyone else to be number one contenders?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, dude. And I'm thinking something, and who can beat them? Honestly. Like, who on the roster has a chance? It's not the Pure Fusion Collective, you know. Even if they were called Raw Top Team instead, better name, they wouldn't be able to. Pound for pound, they're gonna Road Warriors these girls. Like, this is, I don't how long they're gonna hold on to it, but it's gonna be a while, man. And maybe I'm wrong, but it's gonna be a while.
Could be. I have noticed. I don't know if it's if the ring is a different size or what, but there seems to be some sort of timing thing around Jade. Like, her timing isn't in sync with whoever she's in the ring with often. Maybe that's why they want her to get more tag experience so she can pace better.
Old habits die hard. You know, you're wrestling one way for years at another place that wrestles a little bit different. There's a WWE style, there's an AEW style. So I don't know. I don't know anything about wrestling, but I just feel like maybe like not actually doing it. I'm just maybe it'll be difficult. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to break habits like that in that. I don't know, but maybe she'll rise above. I don't know. I don't think she's bad. I just think that, like you said, the timing thing,
Hmm.
because you didn't say that either. Just to clarify. Let's
Yeah,
move
no,
on. Yeah,
Jade is great. Like for as young of a career as she has, she's very good. Like I would say she's probably like remember Thunder Rosa was only in the ring for like 5 years when she debuted in AEW, and she is fantastic. For only 5 years that Jade's been doing it, she is almost at that level. She is very good for the limited amount of time she's been doing it, and I think she can only get better, and it's going to be great.
that's right, Rich Torres. Before we talk about the main event, I just wanted to throw out that we're gonna have a SmackDown Championship match next week. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Cody thinks it should be Jacob Fatu, who should
Mhm.
have been there. And yeah, they're doing something there. I feel like that's something they tried to do with Roman and Solo too before. Like they
Yep.
tried to. So, Cody's playing mind games, which is really all you can do when the numbers game is not in your favor.
Hmm.
So, let's get to Bash in Berlin again. The world title, Gunter did what Gunter does. It was actually a lot longer than I thought it would be. I felt like a Randy Orton match that was wrestled here. And, I mean, Gunter brought it. Gunter was always going to win.
Yeah.
And he won and they shook hands, which I thought he was going to beat the shit out of him. I really did, but he didn't, that gave me that house show vibe. I'm like, oh, they're shaking hands. Okay. It feels very, very homely. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But it was still overall it was a decent show.
Yeah, I like the match. I thought it was a good match. Good finish, putting Orton to sleep. The handshake afterwards, I think it was, for the Berlin crowd a little bit. But
Also
also,
it's respect from Gunter to Randy Orton, who's like currently he's like been there forever. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Nonstop.
and
He never wrestled anywhere else.
right. So that was OVW. But yeah, so that was a big thing. Orton mentioned it on Raw how Gunter offering him the handshake was a little bit of a. It should be the other way around. I get it, but I liked it. And if anything, maybe that was a little bit of a test to see how Gunter would do as a face.
I mean, I think he was a face at home. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he got to say stuff in German,
Hmm.
that we don't know what he said because the thing wouldn't translate for me.
Hmm.
But I think he was like, "Yeah, I kicked his ass. I'm the man now." I don't know what else to tell you, dude. Like it was good. So yeah. Uh, we don't really do like star ratings or any of that. It's like it was a good watch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Yep,
You're welcome, Berlin. You're welcome. But we're back home now.
that's right.
All right. Speaking of home, it's time to go. We got to do the going home. We got to get this to the people. The all out with a little touch of Berlin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let us know what you thought of Bash in Berlin. What was your favorite match, favorite moment of the show of WWE Raw SmackDown this week? What do you think about upcoming tonight All Out? Who do you got? Do you got Danielson or do you got what is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Jungle Boy.
Yeah, Jack Perry. Damn, I don't know. So Danielson in my head, I'm like Danielson. I'm like, wait, not Daniel Garcia, because
Daniel Garcia's wrestling MJF.
he is
There's the
wrestling
whole
MJF.
thing.
Let us know who you got. Let us know if you got Swerve or Hangman and why, and who's really the heel there. Let us know down below. You got the socials in the Patreon link down below. If you want to do a solid on Patreon, we appreciate you. There's a free tier. There's a dollar tier.
Chuck in a buck.
There you go. Chuck in a buck. All right. And as always, Jer's got a party message for you.
The match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
And do what the man says.
Follow the bookers. There's two of them.